Currently, a perfect storm of variables is colliding across the Midwest, setting the stage for lofty expectations. Each hour, the temperature plummets and the barometer climbs, crafting the perfect scenario for a monster buck to take a stroll. Episode 6 saw Caleb Greiner attempting to take advantage of this opportunity, but expectation was met with heartbreak. On top of finding a new dead deer on the Lucky farm, Caleb discovered a truth he didn't want to believe. The buck he's been searching for all season did in fact move west and call the beaver farm home, but Mother Nature picks no favorites, no matter how legendary. Officially, the story of Lucky is over, and though not the way we hope to start the stretch ahead, the weekend is here and many of our team is hunting. 128 miles to the southwest of Caleb, Owen Riegler is rolling the dice and playing the odds, hoping to hit the same jackpot that saw him tag the world-class monarch known as the Loch Ness Monster. Heading to the infamous walnut stand situated overlooking Death Row, Owen hopes to write another chapter in this epic location story.
Just tore up. I'm 10 feet from the car. Wow, love this time of year. I brought that in a couple days ago. I was gonna decoy down here. I'm undecided if I'm going to because there's always does down here. That's what you never know. That's the wild card. Will you get past the does before the buck comes out? Flip a coin. Barely get an interview in. We got in here early, like 2:30. We're just getting set up and there's deer in the field already. It looks like 2 does and a fawn maybe. Man, I've said it before, on that Loch Ness hunt, conditions are as good as you can get. Today feels like one of those days. It was probably 70 yesterday and it's like 44 right now at 2:30, so pretty good. And then you time that with this late in October. These bucks ought to get up and move. I'll be surprised if we don't see a shooter. We got 3/8s in this area that I would shoot any of them. Actually, I offered for Devin to shoot one of them. It's kind of a heavy 8. If he gets an opportunity at him, let her fly. But I'd really like to see that wide 8. There's a wide 8 in here, and then a little farther to the west is that 8 that we found the shed with Mike Reed. Well, we're hearing stuff, man. We gotta just settle in and watch. Sounds like something's blowing out a script right now. Anyway, boys, we'll set in and see what happens. Thank you.
While Owen settles in with the early deer movement continuing, 180 miles to the northeast, new team members Zach and Lucas DePriest are also headed to the woods. Deciding to head to a newly crafted interior green plot on the 20-acre home farm, excitement to sit the stand is high.
All right, guys. Luke and I just got settled in. Took us a little while to get set up in this tree because it's got a bunch of branches coming off that we
brought the tree saw down, and we knew that we wanted to hang in this tree in the past, so we figured we might as well just take our time getting ready today. Really promising buck showed up on the food plot. We also have that bully buck that we're after, and then we have another buck that we call Thor, big mainframe 10-pointer. It's just a giant, so we're probably gonna do some rattling tonight, throw out some grunts, and see if we can get something moving this way. They did just pick a cornfield that butts up to our property. Feels good. This weekend is gonna be amazing, I think. It's the type of weather and time of the year that you just dream of, so we're gonna get after it.
With the first deer of the evening beginning to move, Zach watches for any flash of movement. Back in southern Iowa, Owen's hunt is picking up steam.
This great baby, here he comes. Wants it. Well, it's just after 5 here. Really hasn't been that active like I thought it would be. Maybe we're just in the wrong spot. I guarantee they're up and moving tonight. We'll see on social media some bucks that get killed tonight. Guarantee that, but we still got a good solid hour to sit in here, just a little over. So I'm not giving up hope yet. We'll see what happens. Send him. On the ground. Well, the mature bucks did move. We ended up seeing 2 of them. When we found the sheds with Mike on, and that white 8 was just right here. I spotted him in the corn. Hit him with a snort wheeze because I'd seen some trail pictures where he was being aggressive. So I just thought I'd give it a shot. Sure enough, he started pawing the ground, and took his antlers, he was raking the corn stalks and stuff, so I thought for sure he was gonna come in. Well, this other buck that we seen earlier with the split G2, he came in and just kind of stood and piddled around there, and then that buck kept looking and looking, and then finally I think he chased some does off, so I was super close to getting it done right there. But if we can get out of here clean, come back here tomorrow, I think we got a chance to see him again. This is that time of year where late October, they're still kind of in their home core before they just go bonkers in November, you know, so right now you can still kind of catch them on that bed to feed pattern, but still bumping does around. We'll give her a shot tomorrow, boys. We'll see you then.
We just had that one buck roll through probably 25 minutes ago. We had a really big doe come right 15 yards in the food plot. So it's only like 20 minutes of legal shooting light left. So with everything being up on their feet, we're hoping something's moved closer. I'm gonna try to rattle one last time. Brett. I smoked him. You smoked him? Just the door right there, dude. Let's freaking go, dude. Let's go. Oh my gosh, dude.
Dude, that was quick.
Buck.
He didn't make a sound.
Oh. Bro, he's dead right there.
He dropped. You hammered him, dude.
Oh, thank you, God. What just happened, dude? I just throttled a monster, dude. I just throttled a monster, dude. Let's freaking go, dude. Give me a freaking... Oh, dude, my back. Oh. Well, guys, we got the troops here. I'm gonna go over here look at this arrow, but I'm pretty sure I heard him fall right on the edge of the corn, so get to tracking. Oh yeah. Yeah. There he is, right there.
Right there.
Got him.
Yup.
Yeah, he did not go far. Tell you what, this weekend was magical.
It's awesome.
Well, guys, Luke and I were successful down here on the family farm. We shot him on this food plot that we put in. It's turnips and radishes. We put it in last week of August, I believe, right?
Yes.
This would have been the third, fourth buck we saw tonight. And Luke and I didn't even get to pull our bows back last season, so just getting to harvest a whitetail is an absolute blessing. First year with Midwest Whitetail, I don't know, I'm just kind of speechless. An absolute blessing to be able to chase these things. And now I can kind of shift my focus over to filming my brother. It's his birthday tomorrow, so we're gonna tear down our set we hung tonight and go to a different property in the morning. Hopefully put something else on the ground. Thanks for tuning in to Midwest Whitetail, and good luck, everyone.
The cold front's arrival brought with it exactly what we expected, evident by Owen and Zach's memorable outings. Though not as notable, many more team members were out, putting their time in, hoping for the same outcome. Gavin Katurba is fresh off of confirmation that the 6x5 is alive, and with more recent intel, makes a sit hoping for a shot at redemption. I too was in the woods exchanging the bow for a camera, and for the next week I will be following good friend Brian Brown, who drew a coveted archery tag in Iowa, and despite our slow hunt, the views fuel our excitement. Bouncing to a new permission property, Zach Rosmus made a sit overlooking a large bean field, enjoying a distant but action-packed hunt with multiple bucks up on their feet. With plans to hunt Area 52 in the coming days, one buck in particular is active and covering lots of ground. Finally is Mike Reed, continuing his pursuit of DK.
Friday, October 27th. Had to work this morning. Wind switching from the south to the northwest. That happened around midday today. The temperature right now is 48. This front is just right in the midst of blowing through. It's going to be super cold tonight. Really excited for this afternoon, but even more so for tomorrow morning.
The evening passes with deer movement, but no bucks show. The following morning, October 28th arrives, and Mike gears up for another exciting sit on the river farm.
Saturday, October 28th. The deer are starting to move. We've had 5 or 6 of them come by already. A couple little bucks, some does. We're in the pinch. North wind. It's about 28 degrees with the wind. The front blew through last night. High pressure. Feels good. Hopefully we have some good luck this morning.
Plenty of deer working their way through the bow-friendly funnel, Mike keeps his head on a swivel watching for DK. That same morning, 850 miles to the northeast, longtime team member Phil Scott is also hunting. Set up on the same monster buck plot he's carefully taken shots in all season, his main target is a heavy bruiser called Wick. With lots of does using the plot, Phil sets up with major excitement.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm shaking.
opening interview. So here it is. Got up in the stand. We're after wick today. We had a southwest wind, looked at some previous history in this plot, and it starts to get hot right around now. All the apples are on the ground. So I figured, you know, we got food up here, it's warmer. We've been crazy warm here for the last week, like 70, 75. Deer probably gonna be moving. Let's get up in this spot. Maybe he'll visit back here, because he was here all summer. There he is, dude, this stud. Absolute stud. Just a big 8. He was slightly quartering too. So the shot to me looked good. I'll look at it on the footage. Oh my gosh, that was wild. Absolutely wild. There's blood right here.
Okay, it's raining pretty hard right now. Just got back to the truck. I think, you know, it was a little bit quartering too. So we probably got some liver in there. So we're gonna give them at least 4 hours. Temperatures actually are supposed to drop throughout the day. I'm gonna pack my stuff up. I don't have great reception down here, so I gotta go to a place that does. And just wait for my buddy to kind of talk me through the shot with the dog and how much time we're gonna give him, and you know, what he thinks, and we'll be back.
While Phil waits on his good friend to arrive to take up the trail, back in Iowa, Gavin Katurba is making another hunt on the public land.
All right, it's October 28th. Back in the same spot we were hunting last night. After this 6x5 and another buck I forgot to mention last night. That bladed 8 that I had on camera last year, I've had 2 years of pictures of him, has shown up again. He's a great buck. He's, if I had to guess, at least 6 years old. But this 6x5 I know is living in here too. When we came in here, I'm not sure if you can hear the goose calls off in the distance, but there's some waterfowl hunters in here, and then there's another group of bow hunters. It's either gonna work in our favor and have the deer stirred up, or it's gonna shut everything down and we're not gonna see anything. So this crossing is a killer spot. You know, I've ran cameras here 2 years in a row, and I mean, right around this time every year, it's been really, really hot, so it feels good. It's like 35 degrees. See how it goes. Yeah, I saw him running for a second. Yep. Yep, I'm on him. Shoot, they're gonna go by us. Might still come around. Well, that was a great buck. I have no idea what deer that is. I was telling Dragos when we set up here yesterday that this could be a spot. This is one of those spots where random bucks will come through all the time. Man, I'm shaking bad. He was sweet. I mean, he reminds me of DK, honestly. Big framey, 8 or 9, I think. And of course they come behind us instead of out here in front. That was awesome. He's a stud. Ooh, let's go. That fires me up, if you can't tell.
Living in the moment, Gavin's adrenaline-filled encounter fuels his excitement for whatever else that might wander by. That same morning, 225 miles to the northeast in southern Wisconsin, another longtime team member, Josh Mertzberger, is also in the woods. Already having a great fall, brother Jace's early season stud stokes the fire to make a call of his own.
Probably the biggest I've ever shot. I mean, it just shocked, truthfully. Absolutely insane.
After an action-packed hang and hunt the evening before with Jace, Josh is heading in solo, using the same cornfield for access to overlook the tight quarters funnel created between the hedgerows and thick woods.
Well, it's October the 28th. I'm back in the same stand that my brother and I hung yesterday, and we had that nice buck come through and made some scrapes. It's a beautiful morning. It's cold. I think it was like 36 degrees it got down to. And today's high is only in the 40s, like mid-40s. So I would think they should be moving. It's just, I know in this area, they shift from like woods to woods, and they're checking everything out. It's just a matter of time when they're gonna come through here and being able to time it right. So I'm probably gonna sit till like 10, 11 o'clock. Hopefully I get it done this morning, so stay tuned.
That.
Nah. Well, I think I smoked a dandy. I had those two does come through, and figuring that there's gonna be a good one to come in, I hit him. He went around me, went up the fence line. I saw blood just coming out like crazy. But he was angling kind of away, I think. It looked good to me, and the amount of blood that was coming out, I think I got myself a good one. So I'm gonna make some phone calls and then get a game plan to go look for him. So stay tuned.
With arrows and two great bucks, both Josh Mertzberger and Phil Scott await reinforcements to take up the trail. On the tail end of his morning hunt, Mike Reed continues to enjoy deer movement.
Well, it's a little after 9 o'clock, and we have had non-stop movement for the last 2 hours. I think we've seen upwards of 30 deer, probably 20 does and fawns, and 9 or 10 1.5-year-old bucks. But it's fun to have so much activity. This is usually when it dies down. They kind of work their way slowly back into the bedding area. They've been feeding on these acorns around us just all morning. And the little bucks are just grunting and chasing and pushing deer around. So I think now that a lot of deer are working their way back to the bedding area, I'll probably do a little bit of calling. Hopefully get a mature buck to come through here.
With the crack of antlers booming through the river bottom, Mike waits on the edge of his seat to see what the call produces. Back in New York, Phil is taking up the blood trail.
So they're going to use this road.
They take off right to the left of that Audubon.
Sticks his head out and just marched. He was going right there.
And you shot him.
Done already.
Found it? Oh my, great track job, honey.
Oh yeah.
No way. Good girl.
Let me get you off of that. I don't want you to get sick on it. Come here, come here.
Holy cow. Oh my gosh. That is sweet. Oh, he was done. That mass. That is sweet. All right, well, here's Wick. Second sit for him. First time we saw him. Couldn't connect, and this morning we did. Was a little unsure about the shot, and it just so happened he's 50 yards off the plot here. Want to thank Phil for coming out with the dog, just to be safe. Just a culmination of some past history in this plot and the time of year. It's just time to put your time in the stand. And another key to success here was this plot and how it sets up. You got great access in and out, that's number one. Number two, we got some monster buck clover in here. And it's on one side, we got an old orchard, apple orchard. The other side, we've got a bunch of oak trees with acorns dropping. And they bed on both sides too. So came together. I just want to thank you guys for watching Midwest Whitetail.
While Phil celebrates, back in Wisconsin, Josh Merceberger is taking up a trail of his own.
I see a white belly.
Well, here he is, a nice mature Wisconsin 9-pointer. Yesterday, my brother and I hung a couple of stands, and then we sat him and had a nice buck come in. He made a couple of scrapes, so I knew it was in a good area. But he had to work this morning, so I went out. I hit the Midwest grunt call. I bet you it was more than a couple minutes later, this guy came walking in looking. And he gave me a nice 20-yard shot, and I was able to angle it up, and he went about 50, 60 yards. So ended up being a great hunt. He's got nice browse, nice G2s and math. Hopefully the rest of the team has the same luck I did today.
With zero doubt, the morning's action showcased exactly why expectations were so high, and though Mike never joins the party of blood trailing, seeing over 30 deer matches his anticipated excitement. With many does in the area and great access to the stand, the pinch remains at the top of his best strategies for DK. While Mike gets down to scheme for the afternoon hunt, 30 miles to the northwest, Caleb Griner is making moves of his own.
I'm not really sure how I feel right now. We're pulling cameras out of the Lucky farm. Made the decision that we're gonna move shop over to western Iowa, to a farm that I'd traded some work for some permission. This landowner's super kind and gracious enough to give us free reign on the farm, so we're gonna move all the cameras over there right away on Monday. Right over my left shoulder is where we just last seen Vendetta. We have not had a picture of him since then. It's just, I put a lot of time into it, and I know some of you guys might be thinking, why are you giving up on a deer that big? But listen, this deer is 3 miles away from where he summered. I already understand that this deer has a range that's a little bigger than your average whitetail, and with how many does have died, with how many bucks that have died in this area, the deer numbers are very low, and I'm thinking that this buck is probably going to open his range up a little further than what he normally does, so I don't have the time to be doing that. So who knows, maybe we come over here, glass him up, lock down with the doe on a terrace. Maybe that's how the story ends, but let's go find another big one.
That same afternoon, 135 miles to the southwest, Owen Riegler is coming off of a great sit at Death Row. Heading back to the same funnel, he makes a micro adjustment and switches stand locations.
Well guys, here it is, the afternoon of October 28th. We've got beautiful conditions, even a little better than yesterday. I think I showed you guys why you don't wait for a daylight picture yesterday, that white 8 buck I'm hunting. I haven't had one daylight picture of him since maybe like early August this year. And the conditions were so good yesterday, I said, let's just go give him a try. We had him right here. I'd snore wheezed at him. He was pawing the ground and carrying on. Devin couldn't get any of them because there was just too many leaves in the way, but I thought we had him. He was all worked up, and then this other, I guess he was a 3-year-old buck, worked down by us, and he just kind of stood, ran interference right there, and then that wide 8 just kind of went back about his business. He never did commit, so is what it is. But we just moved. We were in the Walnut yesterday. We came up here right where he was at, and today we got the decoy out. I was a little unsure about using the decoy because you got to get by the does, you got to get by the smaller bucks without making a ruckus, tipping over the decoy and all that. But all in all, I feel like if that 8 comes out and that decoy's there, it's game on. He is the king down here. This is that area wide 9 was in last year. Killed him. Now the new king is this wide 8. So with any luck, he'll step out this afternoon, work that decoy, and we'll be in business. Yes. Sit in, see how it goes. The doe's coming down. Oh God.
With the deer moving and the decoy set, Owen tucks in for the hunt ahead. That same evening, 30 miles to the north, Justin Carnes and Drake Lamb are arriving for a hunt of their own.
October 28th, Drake and I are getting down here. Today's the first day of what we're calling our rutcation 2023. It's cold, it's like 41 degrees. It's been like 65 all week, and October 28th, the rut's pushing in, November's finally getting here. The deer that Jenna actually shot at, it turns out about 13 days later he showed up on camera, so he's actually alive. So the white 8, he's a target. We've got a northeast wind that's going to be kind of blowing directly from our access, and a nice food plot right there, so should set up good.
That's that 9. Both of them does.
As Justin and Drake watch the Iowa Giant at a distance, back on stand with Owen, his hunt pushes on.
Well, I've seen some pretty good movement. I don't know, we're up to 10 or 11 does and 5 or 6 bucks, so it's been pretty good. This is always the wild card, putting a decoy out, is trying to get by the does. And you saw that interaction there. It was pretty funny watching all those deer try to wind it and everything else, but we're still in the game. If the right buck pops out, I think we're in the game for... Come on, send him. He started scraping by the decoy. Thing ended up in Nebraska by the time he was done. That is crazy. This ain't a bad looking buck here either. Probably the best hunt I've ever been on in 40 years of bow hunting. This thing is unbelievable. So this buck that was all postured up, the second one here, he worked off. And finally I seen another buck marching heading over there, big body deer. Well, it's that heavy 8 that Devin was gonna shoot. If we saw him yesterday, Devin had his bow. And boy, they went at it right there. Boy, they mixed it right up. That heavy 8 ran off that other buck that thought he was so tough, so I guess he wasn't that tough after all. I thought I was gonna name him Evander Holyfield, but guess not. He's just a weasel, Class Joe. Probably the funnest hunt of my life. 15 or 20 minutes left. She's pretty chilly, but if we don't see anything else, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Sure as heck enjoyed being out here.
Oh, thank you, God. What just happened, dude? I just throttled a monster, dude. I just throttled a monster.
I'm shaking. Oh, what? Here we go. What?
Well, here he is, a nice mature Wisconsin 9-pointer, and he gave me a nice 20-yard shot, and he went about 50, 60 yards. So hopefully the rest of the team has the same luck I did today.
Right over my left shoulder is where we just last seen Vendetta. We have not had a picture of him since then. So who knows, maybe we come over here, glass him up, lock down with the doe on a terrace. Maybe that's how the story ends, but let's go find another big one.
Deja vu is the phrase that comes to mind when reflecting on the events added to the chronicles of the 2023 season. Like carbon copies of the 2 preceding major cold fronts, Saturday delivered an amount of action that makes it hard to believe only one single calendar flip was burned. A hopeful signal for what's to come, the days ahead are forecasted to be perfect. To some, this multi-day window is the best time of the season, with weary bucks finally exchanging darkness for daylight marches in search for the first available doe in their known ranges. Carefully, the team continues to play chess, not checkers, navigating the next step to hopeful celebration. With another day remaining in the weekend, expectations remain at the flood stage, overflowing with visions of what tomorrow might hold. The only guarantee is that to turn dreams into reality, you have to be there putting time on stand, playing the lottery with hopes of arrowing the grand prize. With the current circumstances, there's no better time to play, and if you don't win, have no fear. Every day ahead is another day closer to when we will be chasing November. Following the stellar action that unfolded on October 28th in Episode 7, the morning of October 29th sees Zach Rosmus trekking to Area 52.
All right, good morning, guys. It's October 29th, and Ty and I are set up. We elected to come to a redneck blind. This is what we call the Cowgate plot. This is on my neighbor's property, and it's in a transition area where there's a green food source right in front of us. Corn was picked last week, and I was a little indecisive on where I wanted to go this morning. I did not want to do a hang and hunt in the dark this morning, so what we did is we loaded up all of our hang and hunt gear, put it in a spot that's staged. Essentially, we're going to hunt this spot early this morning, and I think at some point we're going to make a transition into a tree. I feel confident we're going to see deer from this location. I'm just not sure whether or not they're going to be in bow range. But that buck I called Chicken Nugget, he was pretty active last night again. I think that's probably the most active hit list target we have right now, and it's just a matter of time with how active he's being that we're going to have an encounter with him. So excited for the sun to come up.
While Zach settles in for the morning hunt, 30 miles to the north, Mike Reed is loading up to head to the river farm.
You feeling ready?
I am.
The key to long sets.
we just pulled up to the river farm, and we're gonna head back in the pinch. Feels nice and cool today. It's, I think with the wind about 29 degrees, straight north wind. Another front's coming through. We might get some snow today. So we're gonna get in there and hopefully DK shows up. Encounter number 3 with boss. Big doe right here.
Pretty awesome start to the morning so far. 10 yards for the 3rd time, and it's not even November yet. He's just such a cool deer. His body is so dark. He was grunting and just putting on a show. And then Joey B, big beautiful 3-year-old, wasn't too far behind him. They actually came from opposite directions, but they all sort of met right here. Hopefully DK's somewhere in the area. I'd like to think if he was close by and heard all that ruckus, he would have come check it out, but he doesn't seem to be an overly aggressive deer. You know, for all the bucks that are out here and just kind of looking at pictures and things like that, he rarely is on the scrapes. You'll see him in the background. Doesn't seem to be as active or as aggressive as some of the other deer, but they're all just eating acorns in here. We got this front blowing through. Might get some snow. Definitely feels cold this morning. There's no sun. Hopefully DK makes an appearance yet.
That same morning, 150 miles to the northeast of Mike in the state of Illinois, Longtime team member Kane Gillette is also on stand. No stranger to big bucks and successful hunts, the past few seasons have seen Kane's priorities shift as a hunter for various reasons. If you remember the farm, a property Kane spent his entire life hunting, it sold in 2021, catapulting him onto a new journey that led to a piece of property his family could call their own. A labor of love, Kane's focus has been on transforming the ground and hunting with his kids. All of that effort came to fruition during the 2022 season when Emma, Kane's daughter, shot her first buck on what is now referred to as the home farm. Fast forward, and so far this season, Kane continues to enjoy the fruits of his labor, transforming the landscape of the home place, but in his back pocket are a few properties he's also worked hard on to acquire hunting access. Having not tagged a buck himself since 2020, Kane hits the woods on a nearby permission piece, hoping to end the spell.
Good morning, guys. Brad and I are all settled in. Brad and I were just sitting here kind of waiting for it to get light, and I told him today is going to be great. Hopefully this front is encouraging him. The temps dropped last night. It's about 35 degrees right now, and we got a stiff north wind hitting me right in my face. And right on cue, after I told Brad that, we just had a really nice 3-year-old walk by at about 15 yards. We hunted this bottom on November 7th last year. The only time we hunted here, we came and did a hanging hunt, and I came to full draw on a really nice deer, but wasn't able to close. And after that hunt, from all the deer movement, we said this is where we need to be, because this is kind of where it pinches down here in this funnel. And sure enough, that was perfect. So if they all do that, I think we'll have a good sit. So I'm gonna quiet down, let the timber wake up, and hopefully today's the day. Doe and 2 fawns. 2 does and a fawn, actually. So it's about 10 o'clock now. Brad and I are gonna start packing up and get down and go hang a set. Overall, it's a pretty slow sit. I think we saw probably 9 deer. The only buck we saw was that nice 3-year-old that came through right at first light, and then we never saw another buck. And this is a great front, but it's not really hammering yet. Here comes a deer right now, running at us. You see anything behind you yet?
No, I don't.
It was a doe.
Yeah, it's a doe.
It's right here. Here it comes behind her. That's a buck. Buck. Good buck, good buck.
Matt.
I think I heart shot him. I think I saw him was going down. What just happened? Closing in on you, buddy? Dude, I think I heart shot him.
I think you did.
I'm shaking. Just told you that I haven't shot a buck in 2 years, man, and we were setting up for the next hunt. I mean, he was on her.
Right now.
He was like she, I don't know if she's coming in, but he was on her like she was in heat.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say, dude. I think I just drilled that deer.
I think you smoked him.
It can change quick. I'm gonna quit shaking and we'll come back to you guys in a little bit.
Hello?
Hey, I just shot a buck.
Send us a picture. Good job.
Oh, thank you.
Did you shoot one?
Yeah, dude, I just heart shot one.
That's awesome, buddy.
I just texted you that it was slow.
Yeah, I know.
I figured when you were calling me, that meant that you were like back at the truck, like hand off here.
No.
Congrats, buddy. You'll have to keep me posted. That's not what I was expecting when you were calling me, so this is excellent news. So.
Yeah. Send me some pics, and we'll talk later then, okay?
All right, buddy.
All right, see you, buddy.
Bye. Well, it's been about 35, 40 minutes since I shot that buck. And we just watched the footage here on the ground, and it looks like I did heart shot him like we thought. We're gonna go check out First Blood right now and follow it. And I think the plan is we're gonna go up to where we could last see him. And if he's not dead right there, we might pull out. We'll assess it as we get on the blood trail here, so. Look at the blood, dude. Good blood. Really, he's pouring out. Right here. Bunch right there. Oh, he's right here. He's right here. I didn't even see him. Let's go.
No grip and grin.
It's not it is that tight 10. Pretty good mass through here. Yeah, I think that's him, man. Man, it feels great to get one down. Well, here he is, guys, my 2023 buck. Really happy with him. This is very telling to those fronts. You know, I was kind of down on myself there wrapping up the hunt today, you know, thinking we're just a few days away, even though this weather system's been great. And then this guy proved me wrong in a matter of seconds. As we've been kind of wrapping this process up, it's hitting me a little bit that this is the first deer, not even buck, just buck, the first deer I've shot off the old farm. We lost that farm in 2021. That was the last time I hunted it, and pretty special to get one on the ground. It felt good to break the ice. We've still got quite a bit of time to hunt. Plan going forward, you know, Brad's definitely up to bat now. I think he's definitely earned that. So really excited. We're gonna get him taken care of and get out of here for the day and go show him to the kids. But couldn't be happier to put a mature buck on the ground here in Illinois, October 29th.
Oh my god. He's a jackalope.
A jackalope?
Back in eastern Iowa, fresh off of receiving the He's Down phone call, Zach Rosmus is still set up in the same redneck blind, awaiting his chance to make a move.
All right, it's 9:30 now, and we're gonna make the move. This was a nice cozy spot to start the morning,
But I want to get into the timber, especially at the edge of this bedding area. My instincts are just telling me that's where we need to be. We got to go get some stands. We got a lot of work to do, and I think this set's going to be one that potentially could stay up for a few days because they're calling for quite a few northwest winds in a row. So we got some work to do, and next time you see us, we'll be in a tree.
That's the tree I've been thinking about the whole
Well, it's 11:15 now, and we have made the move into a stand. This is a tree that I've spent quite a bit of time over on my neighbor's property, and we did a joint logging pretty much a year and a half ago now. And this is one of those trees that I remember even when they were logging, I was like, don't log that one. Like, I just remember telling them that because I just thought it set up so well for a north wind. And essentially we have a straight north wind tonight, and we have a north-northwest wind tomorrow. So this is a hanging hunt tonight, not the easiest tree to get into because it's a little bit bigger of a white oak, but I love the spot. There's a nice little ditch right in front of me where they're gonna loop around it. And this is just one of those spots where I think if you put enough time in this location, you get an opportunity at a deer. So I think they're gonna move tonight. Had a few buddies that have killed already today, and then who knows, maybe we'll get a little luck coming our way tonight too.
Enjoying the consistent movement of does so far, Zach settles in on the new stand. Back on the river farm, Mike Reed too is making a midday audible, trying to game plan where his best chance is for the afternoon. While Mike works to make a decision, 127 miles to the southwest, Owen Riegler is heading back to the same stand location he hunted the day prior.
Every time we walk in, it's awesome, man. I love it. Wind is at my back. I know some guys would be like, what are you doing? But I walk with either the wind at my back or the wind in my face. Either one is fine. You just gotta think about where it's blowing, and this is just running it across the food source and then into the CRP. So the one wind I don't want to walk in on is a crosswind, because then you broadcast it the whole trip. Let's go get slipped in that stand. Just in case it is. It's like 2:15 in the afternoon. Not much you can do about that. I thought that might be our point. Here it is, October 29th, about 2:15. We are in here for a long sit, but I've said it before, I'll say it again. Conditions are crazy good. It's like 37 degrees or something right now. Heck, I was talking about having the wind at our back walking in, and you know, that's just fine. Heck, we ran into one of the bucks we seen last night. Of course, the wind's blowing right at him, but Nothing you can do about that at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. This north wind sets up perfect for this spot. Because for one, you're on the downhill side. If the wind dies in the evening and you got a thermal, that's perfect. You know, plus it just sets up perfect for the travel. Everything's on the north side of you. So I love this setup, but we're at the risk of overhunting. It's the third day in this area. I like where you can have them in little different spots where you can access them totally different. So after today, if we don't connect on him, we're gonna have to move spots and just give this a rest. But conditions are so good, I had to be back here with this decoy. If that wide 8 sees that decoy, I think it's gonna be game on or game over, whichever. So we'll set in, see what happens. wasn't going down, so I'm like, I'm gonna send another one. He sent me, and he's mortally hit already. Just torched him. 404. Man, we knew we had to be here early. That's crazy. You seen him work that scrape? Dude, that's nuts. That's a huge 8. Man, what a season. Dream season. What do you say, man? Gosh, that's a big 8. I must have been just back behind the heart. I gotta see what he was on that first shot. He was just a little farther than 20 probably. Yeah, he was 26. That's why it's just a hair low. I used my 20 on it and I knew the decoy was 20 and I thought, well, even if he ducked a hair, that'd be perfect. But I mean, I'm sure we had him either way.
Did you shot those before this and the day off?
Oh yeah, man, we shot all summer. Thank you, Devin, for shooting all summer. Man, paid off right there. Officially bow tagged out, yes. Decoy did the trick again. Boy, he bristled up, walked right in. He didn't walk head on like I thought he would, though. He walked to the back of it, which is odd. Man, that's a big 8. Gosh, he's pretty. I seen him last night. I told Devin, I was like, that's a big 8. That's awesome, man. Let's go get our hands on him. Thank you, Bucky Jr. He was not happy that guy was here. I think I said in the interview, too, I said, if he just sees this decoy, I think it's game on. So let's go check them out. My goodness. Look at the size of the neck on this deer. Whoa. That is a toad 8. Huge neck. Huge body. He was the king down here. What an absolute beast. So pumped. I'm not for sure what deer this is from years past. I think it might be this 9-point we filmed way back in 2018. Matter of fact, we got some video of him that year right there down on that point. I mean, he's, wow, fully mature. I mean, I don't know if you guys can get the appreciation for the size of his neck right there, but it's huge. I've noticed before in the video sometimes just doesn't do it justice. What an awesome buck, man. If you can't be happy with that, you got to take up crochet or something. I've got to sit here and admire him for a second, guys. It's just, even for me, this doesn't happen all the time. It's been years and years in between seasons like I've had on the last couple. Just a cool deer, man. This is the one we were after, boys. I've said it before. This is the one we were after. That's as good as it gets right there. Thank you. Oh, man.
While Owen celebrates the end of his bow season, back in eastern Iowa, Zach Rosmus is at the tail end of his all-day sit.
We are down to our last 35 minutes legal shooting light. Definitely had a flurry of activity there for a while. I mean, from 3:30 until pretty much now, which we've had a lull of about half an hour or so, but we can still see some deer out in the pick cornfield. It seemed like every single one of the does that came by had 2 or 3 fawns with her, so who knows, maybe we'll see some buck activity yet tonight, but the next couple days are looking pretty good. And I mean, it was a long sit this afternoon, it really was, but having them right at the base of the tree, that made them worth it. That was a really cool encounter with all those does and fawns. Gotta love that type of stuff.
This is very telling to those fronts. You know, I was kind of down on myself there wrapping up the hunt today. This is the first deer, not even buck, just buck, but the first deer I've shot off the old farm. pretty special to get one on the ground. It felt good to break the ice and to kind of find my way, if you will, off the old farm.
If you can't be happy with that, you got to take up crochet or something. I've got to sit here and admire him for a second, guys. It's just, even for me, this doesn't happen all the time. It's been years and years in between seasons like I've had on the last couple. This is the one we were after, boys.
This is a hanging hunt tonight, not the easiest tree to get into, but I love the spot. There's a nice little ditch right in front of me where they're gonna loop around it, and this is just one of those spots where I think if you put enough time in this location, you get an opportunity at a deer.
As a deer hunter, what more could one ask for than the events of October 29th? It was a day so rich in experiences, it could fill enough chapters to span an entire week. Although DK never did wander by Mike's stand, another fast-paced sighting with both Moss and Joey B affirms exactly why his belief is so strong that this is the single best location to get his opportunity. Speaking of opportunities, Kane Gillette's hunt served as a great reminder that at any given moment, your luck can change during this time of the season. A celebration hard-earned and long-awaited, many thanks go out to the doe for walking on the decisive trail. Though centered around the anchor of bucks searching for the first available doe, Owen Riegler's epic hunt showcased that yet again, paying attention to the micro details can make all of the difference. Using the wide eight's personality against him, Owen's called shot proved deadly, notching another memory in one of the single best stand locations in the country. Ultimately ending his bow season, Owen is now sidelined, forced to wait until the winter months arrive. While Owen checks out of the game, most have just now been given the green light to enter. As promised, the weekend delivered, but now the time to spend hard-earned vacation time is here. The only variable changing tomorrow is the arrival of frigid air, with lows forecasted in the teens. Sparking hope for a repeat performance, everyone looks forward. We're right on the edge of it now, and in just 3 days, we will finally again be chasing November. In the spirit of not sounding like a broken record, the last few days of hunting have felt like an entire month with punch tags and sightings stacking up at unprecedented rates. On the morning of October 30th, Mike Reed is gearing up to head to the river farm.
It is cold this morning, real feel of 16 degrees. Feels awesome out there. We're about to head into the pinch. Ryan and I have been kind of bouncing back and forth where to go, but I feel like that's the best spot to catch up with him. We're gonna get in there and hopefully he shows up today. It's Monday, October 30th. High pressure, cold, crispy morning. We got a light northwest wind and the real feel is about 16 degrees. Got two little bucks across the slough here in the oaks.
We've already had that 4-year-old 10 with the short G4s walk by. We've had a couple does and little bucks walk under us in the moonlight when we're setting up. It feels awesome. We're back in the pinch. We're gonna put some hours in this morning. Hopefully DK shows up.
With thermal starting to get to work for Mike, 30 miles to the south, Zach Rosmus is set up in the same stand he hung the previous day.
Good morning. It is October 30th, and Ty and I are set up. Beautiful, really cold, crisp morning here in southern Iowa. First hard frost of the season. My truck said 22 this morning. We're back in that hang and hunt set that we did yesterday midday. I think we can get away with a light northwest wind in this spot, but if it switches too much westerly, we're gonna have to regroup at some point today. But gosh, it's just a beautiful morning, calm right now, and feels good to be in a tree.
Switch to the other side. You still good? Yeah. Can't shoot there. You're still good? Yeah. Matt? Might have been a little low. It looked left and right, it was good. I tucked it back a little bit because he was quartering just slightly away. And I'm almost positive it's Chicken Nugget. He got broke up a little bit. I think he's probably about 35 yards out. Gosh, that happened quick. I'm shaking, Ty. Man, we've been putting in some time. That's the first deer we saw this morning, too. All right, we're gonna have to watch it back. Man, I think I hard punched him. Good morning.
Dude, let's go. Shut up.
Yeah, it's the only deer we saw so far, and came back to that hang and hunt that we did yesterday and came back to the spot. I didn't even see the rack, but I could see his head, and like my instant thought in my head was that, yep, that's Chicken Nugget. Like he just has like such a dark forehead on him.
Send me a shot of the clip of the shot.
Yeah, I'll leave you in suspense for a little while.
Oh yeah, I appreciate that.
While Zach and Ty regroup before taking up the trail, back in the pinch, the deer movement is picking up steam.
That's the 9-pointer. Same place to do it. See one that's a little bit farther out there. She's so focused. Back towards the field edge. Dude. What? Get on him. Are you on him? What? Did you get on him? You were on him?
I widened out and got out.
Yeah, so I turned around and saw you out there pretty far. Dude. I saw blood coming out of his mouth like right away.
I'm not sure what happened. Like, I am shaking like a leaf.
Dude, I was watching that doe. I'm just looking around. I look at my DK right here. He's at 32 yards. The pinch strikes again, baby. Dude, it's October 30th. I kept saying, that deer lives to the north. If we sit here enough, this morning is cold. He's coming back a little bit late. So pumped.
What?
I'm so excited. What? I'm so excited. I can't believe it, man. Well, I still can't believe that just happened. The shot looked good. I mean, he wheeled all the way around, running back to the north, and then we saw him loop again and run up the river. And I think I heard him crash down there. We went a 3-day stretch without getting a picture of him. You know, EHD is kind of really tearing up the area, and we found one of our good bucks, a 180 class deer. The neighbor found him dead. I've been running that Axe supplement all summer. You know, we're not finding a ton of deer on this property. And Ryan and I have been talking, I mean, maybe that supplement's helping them. That's the point of it, is to keep their nourishment up and give them everything they need to hopefully fight off infection and thrive when there are challenges. And sure enough, this morning, 9:20, right in the pinch, we just kept saying, we just want one encounter with him. We just want to see him, just lay eyes on him, you know, and then he appears at 30 yards. But anyway, I couldn't be more pumped. October 30th, we're gonna get down and take a look at the blood, make sure I feel good about it, and then we'll pick up the trail here pretty shortly. Let's go get him, buddy. Blood right here. Yeah, it's just full of bubbles. I love a blood trail like this. I have not seen the arrow yet. I gotta just look. He's in the river, dude.
Oh my goodness.
That is crazy. So we just found him, and he went down right about where I thought he did. Unfortunately, though, he rolled down into the river, and he drifted down maybe 30 or 40 yards, and he's caught on this log. So we're gonna head back to the house and get a canoe and maybe some chest waders. I can see the bottom right here. I think it's about 3 feet deep. The river's down pretty bad with the drought this year, but it's cold enough today. I'm not repeating what I did in the past and going for a swim. So we can certainly make it down there and get a look at him, but we got our work cut out for us.
As Mike and Rye head back to collect the canoe, Zach and Ty are preparing to locate first blood.
It's 9:40 now. I mean, we haven't been over to the spot where we shot him at all, so I think we walk over there, just take it really slow. I think that there's an opportunity or potential that with that arrow being in him the way it is, we might not have a lot of blood right away, so we might have to review that clip a few times to try to get that path that he took through there. But I'm excited to get out there and look. Could have been like right around here, right? Blood there. Blood there. Dude, he's right here. He's right here. I can't believe we didn't see him go down. Gosh. Let's freaking go, Tari! Boom! Dude, he is a freaking tank. I've been waiting for this for a long time. Oh man, just a brute. Oh, gosh, man, this is awesome.
Mike shot DK. We killed Chicken Nugget.
Yep. Owen killed last night, it sounds like, too. Kane killed yesterday. Man,
Joshua. We made it happen, dude. It must have been right when we lost him on camera. Like that's where he died. I mean, so I didn't get a clean pass through and it was like stuck in him, but I mean, he only went 60 yards from where we shot him, so.
I don't even know like how to think right now. I'm so overwhelmed. Literally, my head is just spinning.
October 30th, we finally made it happen. If I'm being honest, this is probably, you know, when it comes down to a hit list deer, it was probably number one on my list. Called him the Big Six last year is what I was referring to him and my neighbor was referring to him as. And this buck and shrimp were just all over our farms. Just all over the place, couple bully bucks just ruling the roost. And you can tell that, you know, broken off points that he has, scars on the forehead, scars on the ears all over the place. He's just an old warrior. And there's just so much appreciation for, you know, something like that. I mean, a mature buck of this caliber, just to have everything play itself out, to harvest them alone is so difficult, and then to catch it all on camera, I can't thank Ty enough. I mean, just an awesome way to cap a couple really tough days of hunting. We sat all day yesterday, from sunup to sundown. Can't thank him enough, and this is very rewarding. This chicken nugget buck was right at the top of the hit list, and gosh, just a great way to end October 30th. I mean, holy cow.
Dude.
Isn't it awesome?
Congrats.
Thanks, buddy.
That's so awesome.
Super excited. We got the boat, got a paddle.
We'll get him out
I
one
still
way or
haven't
another.
got to see him yet.
I know.
So let's go take a look. Look at that. Look, it's sneezy. It's sneezy. I wonder if he's got a doe there or something. We just came and launched a canoe down at this sandbar. I'm gonna paddle down to him, get him roped up, and we're gonna winch him up the bank. I'll see you guys over there. I'm popping a willy. I wish I could grab his head. Now we can slide that canoe wherever we want. Okay. You can just slide it, keep it beached. Sliding down the log. That's getting him right. Okay. Holy moly. All came together. With a fun ending. Good job, buddy. Thank you. Oh my goodness is right. It's crazy to think back to when he was a 3-year-old 8. Look at the mass on that deer. Yeah, go ahead. I'll come help you. Well, of course, the saga couldn't end without a little bit of drama. Certainly made us work for it, getting him out of the river, but the 3 of us got it done, and I'm super happy with him. Such a giant, typical deer, and I honestly didn't think the hunt for him would come together so quickly on our first encounter. You know, we talked about this in tree a little bit, just being that he's not a real homebody. I mean, we've got 4 years of history with him, but over the last 10 days or so, he seemed to be creeping a little bit farther in. And the pattern he'd follow was similar to last year, where he was only on the farm occasionally. We got very sporadic pictures of him. We made arrangements to try to get him early, and it just never came to fruition. You know, there was one or two times where he was daylight and he was on a little clover plot when we were on the Nebraska plot, and we just moved around when we could, hunted him smart and trying to buy time for this late October. These bucks that are in the area of the neighborhood, they're looking for that first available doe, and they're not running miles, you know, during the rut. And so I've had a lot of success this time of year. And then we time it up with this harsh cold front. I mean, it was 16 degrees this morning. And every morning we've been in the pinch when the wind's been right with high anticipation, having some great sits. And just every night, you know, another day goes by where we hadn't seen him, and I was like, any day now, any day now. Well, moving forward, a lot of the team members still have tags in their pockets, and we're really looking forward to Sweet November. Super blessed and grateful to have so much success here before we even get to November. Really excited to see how it all unfolds. The rattling, buddy. The rattling, the metal on metal, aluminum. It's just starting to finally dry out. Look at that too. Oh wow. He's like, I'm not busting him off again. Because he broke this G3 and that brow tine off last year. Nice October 30th. Yeah. See the map on that guy. Yeah, he's a big old bruise. First buck on 52? It is, yeah. He had actually like a drop tine that came down like here, but clearly broke it off. No, he isn't. No. I was looking at that. I was like, God, dang. Well, I called him Chicken Nugget because last year he was just a 6-point. He's all broke up. Oh. And then this year he turned into like an 8-pointer type thing. So it was like went from a 6-piece to an 8-piece. Yeah. Love it. He reminds me of Gronk. Yeah. 17, 19, 21. The years I killed in the pit. And then he's like, we got to kill him in the pinch because it's every other year. I was like, all right. It's always. I'm big into my tree.
October 30th. We finally made it happen. If I'm being honest, this is probably, you know, when it comes down to a hit list deer, it was probably number one on my list. Scars on the forehead, scars on the ears, all over the place. He's just an old warrior. And there's just so much appreciation for, you know, something like that. I mean, gosh, just a great way to end October 30th. I mean, holy cow.
Certainly made us work for it, getting him out of the river, but I'm super happy with him. Such a giant, typical deer. We just moved around when we could, hunted him smart, and trying to buy time for this late October. I've had a lot of success this time of year, and then we time it up with this harsh cold front. I mean, it was 16 degrees this morning. And every morning we've been in the pinch when the wind's been right with high anticipation.
At this point, what else is there to say other than if you're not in the woods, you need to get there and fast. Time and time again, we hear Mike Reed say that late October is his favorite stretch of hunting, and the short but dramatic saga with DK showcases exactly why. This is a brief window when local bucks start searching for the first available doe, increasing their daylight activity. Pair this behavior with the frigid 16-degree temperatures, and you have the perfect storm, with big buck warnings pinging all over the whitetails range. Tailgate celebrations like the one on the morning of October 30th are rare, and for now, thoughts of the remaining landowner tags are put on hold for Mike and Zach. For the rest of the team, there's no need to rewrite the plan, with the best still ahead of us. Only 2 days sit between us and the calendar flip. Normally, excitement for its arrival would be bursting at the seams, but this is no normal season. Though the outcome remains to be seen, hunters dressed in camouflage will either be greeted by tricks or treats as the monster bucks roam, one bedding area at a time. We've never said it before, but right now, we're okay with waiting. Waiting until we can once again be chasing November.